Hey yo, what's up guys? This is me, DPX, back with another review. Today we're reviewing It Chapter 2. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out. Alright, before we get started though, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, and leave a comment, and you'll be a loyal subscriber. So It Chapter 2 takes place 27 years after the first one, which means that, all the people are grown up and everything. So everyone in the Losers Club, they're all grown up, and that's one thing I like. The cast is great. We got great performances from the likes of, James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain, and Bill Hader is a standout. But I love it's almost like these actually are like the people that were from the first one. Like, it's so believable. It's actually crazy. I really like that. Unfortunately, probably the biggest thing wrong with this movie is the length. It's almost 3 hours long, and yeah, it does feel like 3 hours. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure they could have cut out a lot of stuff. It's not the most organized film either. It's really messy. Like, there's a bunch of scenes that sort of just happen, and there's a bunch of stuff like don't really aren't too significant. They could have at least, cut out some of these scenes. You know, this movie was almost gonna be split into two movies, which is crazy. So yeah. A little more on the movie being 3 hours long. Like, the plot didn't justify it being 3 hours long. A bunch of random shit happens. There's this one, I don't want to spoil it, but like, there's this one part of the movie where there's this decision made with all the kids that are now adults. I want to tell you what the decision is. Although it might have been the trailer. I don't know. I actually haven't really watched the trailers that much. But there was a decision that was made, and that decision sort of plays into the movie, like, in like the middle act. Um, and it's not like that justifies the movie being 3 hours long. All the perspectives are different. Speaking of perspective, I heard some people talk about how this is a lot less scary from the perspective of an adult, which I understand, but I still think it is pretty scary. I didn't get scared, but I big boy, but still, like, I'm just one of those people who doesn't get too scared by this kind of stuff. But I could have this got what it was going for. It Chapter 2 got what it was going for, and it was a scary movie. One thing I feel like I have to talk about here is the humor. Most, horror movies or, like, really scary movies, the humor feels out of place. Like, with Halloween, it's not really a horror movie, it's a slasher film, but same idea. The humor just fell out of place there, and stuff like that, yeah. This, nah, man. The humor worked. Sure, a few times it was a little out of place. Like, there are a few times where it's just like, really? I mean, come on. But no, it was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. And I know I, like, briefly mentioned him, but Bill Hader as an older Richie is just amazing. He's definitely the standout here of all the kids or adults. I'm gonna refer them as losers now, if I remember to do that. But you really, this goes for everyone, but especially Bill Hader. Like, the performance is just so good. You understand, like, that, like, it's almost like Finn Wolfhard grows up and is Bill Hader now. Like, that's how, like, that's how top notch it is. Speaking of Finn Wolfhard, though, like there are some like flashback scenes, and they have to de-age the kid actors because it's been 2 years. They really do look different now, so they got de-age them a bit. You can see the de-aging on them, though. Finn Wolfhard especially looks really stupid. So sometimes, like the effects look dumb and shit. Also, about those flashback scenes, they did get a bit annoying at times. Like it's like, all right, I feel like they could have cut out some of those, or at least shortened them. Like they were significant to the plot, but like they didn't need to be as long as they were. I don't know. That's just me though. But I think we got to go from one Bill that killed it to another with Bill Skarsgård. Man, is he like he was really good in the first one. He's great in this one too as Pennywise. He's like creepy, man. Like, yeah, definitely just top notch. And honestly, the cast is probably the best part of this movie. Like, no knocking the story or anything. The cast is the best part. It's got a great cast. And they casted everyone really well. Honestly, no one felt off. You know, all the acting was great. But Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is probably one of the best. I mean, he carries it. Him and Bill Hader, I feel they carry it, in my opinion. In conclusion, It Chapter 2 is really good. I enjoyed it, but it does have its flaws that you cannot ignore. Like pacing issues and unnecessary scenes, bunch of stuff like that. It really did like bother me a bit, but no deny that the performances, the casting, uh, all that stuff is really good. But that the pacing, man, the pacing is what honestly brings it down from something a lot bigger. So in the end, I give It Chapter 2 a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe the public opinion of this movie will change over time. Maybe. That's what happens with every goddamn movie I review and give a certain score. But I don't know. I did enjoy it. You should totally see this if you like the first one. You're not going to understand this one if you didn't see the first one. Or at least if you didn't read the book. I didn't read the book, but I still saw the first one, so I was able to see this one. If you read the book and you didn't see the first one, I guess maybe. I don't know. I haven't read the book. But yeah, that was It Chapter 2. Go into it with lowered expectations, probably, and you'll have a great time. So, that was It Chapter 2. What do you think? You agree with me? Have you seen it? Or do you want to see it if you haven't? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.